Hey friends, today we are finishing our series on humility, putting others first by giving up what you think you deserve. Today, let's start out with a question. Have you ever thought you understood something, but then realized you actually didn't understand it at all? Maybe you were learning a new game and thought you understood the rules, but as soon as everyone started to play the game, you realized you had no clue what you were doing. I've been playing a lot of board games lately, and I think that's been happening to me a lot. In those times, I feel clueless, embarrassed, frustrated, like I've missed something, and it's not a fun feeling at all. Luckily, we're not alone in this feeling. We all get this way. Even Jesus' followers had a moment like this. See, Jesus was who God sent to save everyone. He's what they called the Messiah. People knew that the Messiah was coming, but they didn't really know a lot of details. Jesus came, and he was the Messiah, but he acted in a way that was different than what people understood. And his disciples, the people who followed him, learned from him, understood something completely different. See, after Jesus died, 2 of his followers were walking into a village, and they were discussing what just happened and what they came across a stranger who they thought was a stranger. It was actually Jesus, but the men could not recognize him. Jesus asked, "What are you discussing?" And we're going to actually pick up the rest of the story in Luke chapter 24, verse 18 through 24. One of them, named Cleopas, asked him, "Are you the only one visiting Jerusalem who does not know the things that have happened in these last days?" "What things?" he asked. "About Jesus of Nazareth," they replied. "He was a prophet, powerful in the word and deed before God and all people. The chief priests and our rulers handed him over to be sentenced to death, and they crucified him. But we have hoped that he was the one doing to redeem Israel. And what is more, in the 3rd day since it all took place. In addition, some of our women amazed us, and they went to the tomb early this morning, but didn't find his body. They came and told us what they had seen visions of angels who had said that he was alive. Then some of our companions went to the tomb and found that it was just the women had said, and they did not see Jesus." He said to them, "Foolish people, how slow are you to believe that the prophets have spoken? Did not the Messiah come to suffer these people and enter for his glory?" And beginning with Moses and all the prophets, he explained to them and the scriptures concerning himself. See, they started to believe that Jesus was not who God sent. They expected this mighty warrior king who would destroy all of his enemies. They had all their hope in this understanding of who Jesus was. But when Jesus did instead he was a servant king who saved all of his enemies. Very different from what those men expected. And sometimes we are like those men. There are certain times when we think we understand things only to realize later on we didn't quite have them right in the first place. This is a humbling moment, and it takes humility, realizing that we're not always right, to realize that we don't know everything, especially about God. At the same time, when it comes to God, we'll never know everything about God. If we did, God wouldn't be the answer, this awesome, huge creator of the universe. For our entire lives, we'll be learning things about God that will surprise us. In fact, just like the people who encountered Jesus were shocked by some of the unexpected things he did, there may be times when we see God do things that are different than what we expect. Or we may find his plan in our life is different than what we would have planned. But we can trust him because he knows his best and he is good. So I ask you, what have you discovered about God that surprised you? We will have some small group questions in the description below. Talk about this with your family, and I'll see you guys next week.